let's talk about the old money aesthetics. The idea of behaving and dressing like wealth in order for you to achieve success in all areas of your life.
I don't care what anybody says. The real reason why you don't look old money is not because of the clothing you're buying. No one can actually tell if it's from Zara or The Row, literally no one. But it's because the devil is in the details, my friends. It is about your hair, it is about your skin, your perfume. I have taken months.
You want to adopt an old money aesthetic, but you don't know where to start? Here are my 5 tips. A monochromatic look like this one is always going to make you look chic and old money.
But do you remember when Kylie Jenner wore a particular dress?
This is how you can recognize a new money person trying that old money aesthetic. Body language, of course. Pouting lips, making sultry eyes, sticking out butt, gliding hands all over the body. That compulsive desire to seduce. That doesn't go away with just changing dress. It's a lifestyle, so it takes a little bit longer, but it's still possible to change the habits. If they want it, of course.
She shared it on her TikTok. A lot of people say that she should stop dressing like old money. Old money is not for her because their money is not old money. It's money that they have done doing all those dodgy things online and making themselves relevant, which is not old money. They've also said to her that you're a Gen Z, you're a millennial, you're in between, like old money is not something that is for you. There is no way you can be old money if you are of that age, unless you were born in that kind of family, you know, dated back within that kind of age. So the most common one that you know is Sofia Richie, and for Sofia Richie, she recently married her millionaire husband, but before that she was dating Scott Disick, and her sense of style when she was dating Scott Disick is completely different from now her sense of style that she is dating her millionaire husband. And a lot of people online have said that you should look at Sofia Richie as an example of what old money and what dressing appropriately would get you in life, like what kind of husband and what kind of life you can live if you change the way you dress and embody a certain level of dressing. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the dark side and the dangers of this old money aesthetic, what it has done to us and what it's going to do to us as a society if we carry on doing it. I am not against anything to do with wealth. I love wealth. I love money. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love money? Like, I do love money, okay? I'm making this because at the end of the day, I do want money on this YouTube so I can live a very good lifestyle. However, we have to kind of look at things in a very different perspective. First of all, old money itself is pretty dirty and dark. Like, the people that have that wealth and that old money aesthetic is very historical within, you know, the kind of European aristocracy, but we're going to talk about it properly in this video and explain so much things. I am not against wealth. I love money. Who doesn't want to walk in a room and be respected for the money they have? Who doesn't want to dress with all those kind of items that when someone looks at you, they just see wealth and money? You know, even when you go to a place, the way you dress, they're going to address you like that. I just want to be like that. I love money. I love money. I attract money. Money will come to me, okay? Say that to yourself. Say that to yourself. But we're going to talk about this idea of dressing like you have wealth when the actual sense is that you don't have it, and how dangerous it can really be, because I just say to myself we're gonna do this. But anyway, guys, if you do not know who I am, my name is Lucia Kao. I make self-development, personal growth videos. I am a serious self-help book reader. I read a lot of self-help books and I share the ideas. I share things that I feel that would add value to your life. And if you're someone that wants to have value in their life, have something added onto their life as valuable knowledge, then this particular YouTube is going to be the one for you. And subscription is absolutely free. But let me tell you something, it gets you to see my face every single now and then and hear my ideas. Be respectful in the comments. I know we all have opinions about this. You can say whatever you want to say, but let's just be a little bit respect. If we talk about old money, historically old money is about old generational wealth. And this wealth has been maintained over a couple of generations, like a lot of generations. The old money aesthetic is inspired by families that have maintained generational wealth over and over again. You know, it gets back to kind of the European aristocracy, you know, and the American industrialization of the Gilded Age. And it is something that has been there for generations over and over. It's a certain class, it's a certain type of dressing, it's a certain kind of events, and a certain kind of places that you. So with old money comes things like elegance, class, and for them it's kind of like a tradition. Now if we are going back and back and back, we can look at people like, you know, Jackie Kennedy, Princess Diana, the Kennedy family. Those are the people that have that kind of old money wealth. But if you dive deep into the old money aesthetic and wealth, you can see there's a lot of slavery. There was a lot of selling people for people to build that kind of generational wealth. Now if you want to dig deep into that, you feel free to go and dig into that, but this video is not about digging into that because that can be very dark and heavy to actually carry. So the old money aesthetic, first of all, has this perpetuation of classism and exclusivity. So when it comes to old money, it glorifies a certain kind of lifestyle. You have to sort of dress in a certain type of way. Now we're moving away from being authentic as our own selves, and now we're kind of getting into the idea of that we have to dress a certain kind of way in order for us to be respected. Yes, you know, sometimes you have to embody a certain dressing style in order for you to walk into a room and be respected, but that does not mean that is a lifestyle that you have to live. One thing that we always forget when it comes to old money, it creates some kind of class division, because you have to remember this, that when it comes to old money does not include the minority, and it is something that creates a certain level of classism. Now when it comes to that kind of old money, remember that old wealth was built on slavery, kind of, so we are not the people that it is directed to. In a way, old money can be very class divisious, if that's the word, or you can create some kind of class division that actually can be very toxic. So many people forget that old money people, that the people that you see that wear or dress like wealth, let's say for example Sophia Richie, or for example you're looking at Princess Diana, if that's the person that you're kind of looking at, or the Kennedy family. One thing I would say to you is that the way they dressed is because they went to those places. They dressed for tea parties because they were actually going for a tea party. They dressed for golf because they were actually going for golf, or they were strolling through the city. Now the old money aesthetic right now is making people dress in the city of town like though they're going for tea parties, when actually no, or dress like golf but they're not actually going for golf. It's just their own personal style now, because they're trying to embody that kind of like old money aesthetic. The other point is a lot of materialism. Now old money has been associated to a lot of materialistic kind of value. Now the old money that is now the recent old to new money is kind of like wearing a lot of logos. Now recently I think Burberry came out and said that it has seen an increased number of sales from people of recent because of the old money aesthetic, because everyone relates old money to actually dressing wealth. Like you have to have Louis Vuitton, Chanel all over in order for you to be classified as an old money aesthetic. Now the dangers of that is that first of all, you're putting yourself out there as a target. You know, you're becoming a target for people to actually steal things from you. There are a lot of YouTube videos, and there are a lot of people who have come out on Instagram and say that they have been followed when they have walked from stores to their car, and they have actually been robbed point blank because of, you know, dressing in that kind of wealth. But we all know the level at which fakes have become the norm is astonishing because of the old money aesthetic, and we all want to dress in beige, white kind of outfits. We have got into this idea of that we have to acquire all those kind of like luxury brands and to be very luxurious in order for us to embody that. If you're not luxurious, then you're not old money. Every single person is now old money. Our authentic selves has died because we are all trying to be like, if we dress like this, then probably we're going to bag ourselves a man like Sophia Richie. Well, what people don't understand, sometimes in life you go through transitions and you go through certain stages of life. When it comes to Sophia Richie, I feel like she had to go through certain transitions in her life to get where she is. Whether it was her dressing, maybe that was her transition and maybe that bagged her, but that does not mean that your old money or old money kind of dressing is what you have to embody in order for you to actually level up. You can level up with just dressing in your red, in your purples, in your greens, in all those colors, because old money is normally associated with wearing whites, beige, no color at all. The main point that a lot of people neglect when it comes to this old money aesthetic is that it creates a lot of mental implications to people, because mentally you're trying to look sophisticated and wealthy, but we all know that you're not wealthy. We all know that you're not that sophisticated. You're trying to live a life that we all know that is not you, and it will catch up with you at some point. It does catch up with you to an extent that you're kind of like, you know what, hold on a minute, my mental health is suffering because I have engaged myself in things that I shouldn't be engaging myself in. You know, we need to understand that in different levels of life, in different generations or in different years to come from now, the way in which we dress according to the society that we live. Old money itself is a society. It's not an individual thing, it's a society type of thing. You know, clothing is now being made and is all being named as old money. There are so many people on TikTok that literally tell you what car you cannot drive, what dress you cannot wear, or what dress you can wear in order for you to embody this old money kind of style. The way that you have to eat, the places you have to visit if you are old money or new money. So they are telling you to wear the mask of an old money person and literally go and get yourself this kind of things. There's a video that a lady made on TikTok that she was talking about that people with old money will never, you know, buy this car or never wear this type of cloth. Like, they would never do that. So if you want to try and be old money, drive this car, maybe a Honda or whatever it is that you want to drive. What she does not understand is that you're telling people that the only way to success, the only way to be better, the only way to achieve certain things in life is that if you start embodying this kind of wealth. At what end are we going to start thinking about that this is actually mental pressure and it doesn't work? Because the Western society, correct me if I'm wrong, creates the standard for the whole world to follow. Most people in Asian or African countries look at what is happening in the Western world, forget about anything political, but let's think about in terms of dressing, and that is what they follow. That is what they kind of go with. You know, it's setting a tone of an example that all you have to do is to have wealth. I'm going to make an important video talking about that, why chasing money makes you more poor. And honestly speaking, it's one of those things that you have to sometimes stay humble in what you have got in order for you to achieve more. You know, having so much or allowing yourself to have so much is literally the danger of everything. Someone once said, look around your room and look around your house, everything that you have was once money. Okay, I'm going to be talking about that anyway in a second. But going back to the whole idea of the old money aesthetic, it's a good idea that a lot of women are teaching women of how to take care of themselves in a feminine way and how to dress in a kind of way that is self-care. Like, being someone that is classy is actually polishing yourself out, doing your nails, you know, taking care of your hair, making sure that your teeth are brushed nicely and you take care of the maintenance of how they actually do look like. You know, choosing certain clothes that match your body type, suit your body type, colors that actually suit your skin tone and colors that don't suit your skin tone. Things like that are very kind of beautiful, and I'm glad that there is so many videos out there that teach. But the videos that are making all over my Instagram, and I don't know, maybe your Instagram, it's a lot of old. I've made videos on Instagram and I'm guilty of this, of how to dress like old money, how to dress like that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I look at myself and I be like, sometimes I want to dress like a Gen Z, sometimes I want to dress like a millennial, and sometimes I want to dress like old money. Like, I want to dress like all those kind of things depending on my mood. But you're not going to tell me that in order for me to, you know, have riches, or in order for me to have a man, in order for me to have all those kind of things, then I need to be some kind of sophisticated old money type of girl. Yes, it worked for Sophia Richie, but it doesn't work for everyone. So I do not know how much you can explain when it comes to the old money sort of aesthetic, but it's something that is killing creativity. It's killing, you know, everything to do with the idea of, like, we need to embrace the type of clothing that we are having. You walk into so many stores and you find that they are displaying everything to do with sort of old money. And I'm like, who asked you that I want to be old money? I just want to be me. I don't want to be any money. I just want to see the physical money. Because me dressing in a beige, you know, or a white trouser and wearing like maybe a sweater over the top and walking on the street is not going to get me anywhere. It doesn't mean I'm going to be more respected if I walk into a Chanel shop because I'm wearing old money, or if I'm just wearing something that I'm comfortable with and I'm looking like and I understand what exactly it is. Fast fashion has been at a high rise, you know. Luxury spending has been at a high rise. A lot of people are spending in luxury than investing and, you know, thinking about their retirement, because right now what you should be doing is actually working towards your retirement so you can retire and enjoy the best life, and also retire early if you wanted to, not actually thinking about what clothes you're going to buy and how you're going to stock them. The level of materialism, consumerism, you know, fashion is going into a very different aspect. It's very different. You remember that old money and wealth is a whole different conversation. The people that have wealth that runs from one generation to another generation, that is their lifestyle and that is their culture. That is how they are brought up from a young age. Everybody in the old money thing, they are told, but I don't know what those women are, but they teach them those manners and how to dress from when they're a young child. And they're very simple. Notice the people that are actually meant to be old money are very simple and they're very quiet. There's all this idea about quiet luxury, but they're very quiet. They don't do too much. They do very quietly. They do things in a very quiet way, and they are as simple as you can find them. But because we are in a society whereby we amplify everything, we glamorize everything, we praise everything, we are now going out there dressing like a Christmas tree, which has no coordinating colors. The Christmas tree just has everything that has been thrown on. That's exactly how we are dressing. But yeah, I wanted to bring in this old money aesthetic because personally I thought that it really needs to die. These are my ideas why I think this old money aesthetic is not a good idea. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna end this video here, but those are my 2 cents about the old money aesthetics. You know, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. My name remains Lucy Akao, and see you in the next one.